I appreciate all the media for being here. We're very excited, getting ready to go to the conference tournament championship in New Orleans. We just finished practice up this morning. I thought it was one of the best practices we have as far as the players are very focused. There's no silliness. There's no anything extra. They're focused on what we're doing. We play Lafayette first, and they're focused on the game plan. I think one of the biggest advantages we have going into this is the big momentum. We're coming off a 20-win season. We've done some things that haven't been done here before, and just the honor of getting to make the tournament, the coveted spot of getting in the tournament, all of those things going into the tournament. We have a lot of momentum, 8-game winning streak.
That being said, one of the teams that gave you the toughest fights throughout the years, your first round opponent, you had a better draw than that.
Right, and to me, the toughest coach to go against in the tournament is Gary Broadhead. I mean, I've watched him for years. I actually coached against him back in Louisiana, and he really knows how to get a team ready to play at tournament time. I think they came from only 1 point or 2 points within beating the conference tournament champions last year at Western Kentucky in the first game. They're a team that knows how to upset. They have in my opinion, the best 3-guard combination in the conference, arguably. I don't mean any one individually, but those 3 together. They play very well together on defense and offense. They're hard to beat. It's a challenge. We have a size advantage. They have an advantage of playing small all year and overcoming that. And so there's a certain art to that. We only beat them by 5 points at their place and 5 points in Trojan Arena.
But have you learned anything from playing those 2 games that you maybe could take into this first round?
Yes, guard their dribble drive. They're very feisty. They're very fast. What they try to do is get one bit of their tennis shoe in front of yours on defense and get by you and go to the goal. So that's what we're working on: staying in a stance, having our knees bent, and being diligent with that for 40 minutes.
What do you think has been the most important thing throughout this win streak to keep the momentum going? What do you think you've been doing the best?
I would attribute a lot of our success to our players' maturity and the fact that they've been able to be consistent. Renita Garrett with 21 double-doubles. Our seniors are going to give us what they give us every night. So consistency has been a big key. Of course, anytime you're on a streak, you win 8 in a row, there's something working for you. The other thing I think has been so good for us almost sounds like the opposite of that, but it's really not. It's that we never know on any given night who's about to rise up and play well. So I guess the base of playing well has been very consistent, and what we do is consistent, but we get a spark every night from a different player, which is hard to scout.
As far as it's March Madness and you get into tournament season, are y'all still on guard for the potential upset and being one and done down here? Because I know the goals are, the confidence is there for, hey, we could be in the NCAA tournament by this time next week.
Well, that's the plan. This tournament, just top to bottom, honestly, people say this over and over, but honestly, anybody could win this tournament. However, I do like our chances. The reason I like our chances are those reasons that I just mentioned. I do think we have the most momentum going into the tournament. But really, it was answered for me today at practice, the focus that these players have. There's nothing else on their mind. There's no distractions. They're just going to win.
How much of you had a 6-game winning streak and then an 8-game winning streak now. How much of that has been the payoff for the past 2 years building up to this point?
I mean, it's winning's a lot better than losing. It has a lot of advantages, and so we've suffered through our moments to build, and like I always would tell the team in those moments, and we try to use this when we're able to speak to young women or other venues. Sometimes winning doesn't always look like you're winning. We went on an 8-game losing streak last year. That did not feel like winning at all. It was, but we had to keep telling ourselves winning doesn't always look like winning. It doesn't always appear you're winning, but as long as you're keeping moving forward and you're keeping your goals in front of you and you refuse to lose and you refuse to give in, you keep getting back up, you are winning. And so we're just able to reap the benefits of that this year.
The ups and downs over the past couple years, you mentioned the winning streaks and the losing streaks. Does that, as a head coach, really help things blend together, gel together? In terms of, you guys have been through those struggles, but you've also succeeded, and it's just about blending the two.
Yes, So I mean, you don't forget where you came from, of course. we don't forget how, how hurtful that was to lose those games. And we were battling so hard to win for Troy. We don't forget that. And it's just like people say, it sounds stereotypical, but, it's the tough times that make you stronger. So it's made us stronger, and it's brought us together, and hopefully it will be one of the things that put us over the edge to win this tournament.
And of course, in tournaments, it's you win, you advance, you lose, you're out. How do you approach game? Is it possession by possession, quarter by quarter? To keep that focus there, that it's still an entire game before
Right.
it's decided.
Once we step on that bus, once we're on the bus, we want to make sure we focus on we have one game is Lafayette. Once we get in the locker room before that game, and once we go out on that floor to play, we want to focus. It's just one possession at a time, and we will keep slowing things down. It's one goal at a time, and that's the only way I know to get to the championship game and win the championship game.
There's a lot of talent too, top to bottom on the roster. Tournaments are different because it's a day-by-day thing. You don't necessarily have a day off and rest, and then you play another day. How much does depth have a big factor in that?
I think depth will help us. A lot of teams that are in this tournament, I was looking at that this morning, a lot of them play 7 players. A couple teams play 8 players. We play 11 players practically every game. If you look night in and night out, there are many, many nights where 11 people on our roster both score and have a rebound. And I think depth should help us out in this tournament.
You have experience winning championships, plenty of that. A lot of these girls don't, maybe at the high school level, but not in college. What have you been talking to them about just in your past experiences?
Well, one thing I told them the other day that I'd like to say now the cameras are in front of me, I have won championships before. I've been blessed with a lot of winning. Never with a team that I liked this much. And I hate to say that, but this has been such an easy team. They have been focused all year. We haven't had a lot of nonsense. And as far as what I'm telling them, there's really nothing to say except the next game that's in front of us, And when it's all over and hopefully we'll have that championship, then we'll talk about the championship. But right now it's just Lafayette.
It's been a great year for the Rigby household, but y'all have come close in a couple of times getting that championship. Do you feel extra motivation to finally go capture one now?
I need to go get one. My husband, Ed, and Ramsey, of course, at Elba, they were state runner-up. They went 14-0 in their football season. They were state runners-up. My son, Randon, was on the basketball team at Elba that went to the state championship, but lost in state championship. So even my son said this morning, Mom, you need to go uphold the Rigby name and let's win one.
In the eight-game winning streak you had, I mean, everybody can focus on the positives. Is there something that you've seen in your team that kind of scares you or concerns you heading into the tournament?
Well, in my mind as a coach, I just don't want anybody to get too relaxed. Some of these teams, sometimes it can be an advantage if you lose one close to the end because everybody gets back on their P's and Q's a little more. But that's just in my mind. I haven't seen that at all from the team being too relaxed. But no, I'll just take the wins and say we have momentum and say that's going to be our advantage and keep going with it.